I hope everyone can hear me on TikTok. So we're trying this again on YouTube. The first chat sort of went silent and there was no sound for a lot of people. So I've started a new stream. Hopefully it'll work this time. So Cheryl, you can hear me now? Fantastic. So I don't know why it did that. But at least it's working now. Hopefully everyone will pop back in and say hello. So we've got Cheryl and Mimi Susu. How are you all doing? Hope you're keeping well. We've got 6 people over on TikTok. Hope everyone's good with you. Everything's good with you, not everyone. Oh, I've just realised I've got all these stickers on me that my son's been said I was being a good boy, so he gave me a load of stickers. Not quite sure what they are. There's some treasure. There's a cannonball, some pirates. But yeah, I've been a good boy and he's given me some stickers as a reward. Ned Kelly, how are you doing? Hope you're keeping well. Not well, but we'll survive. Cheryl, what's going on? We've got a house full of sick kids at the minute. Zaki's got a little cold. My wife's got a cold. I'm feeling it. But it didn't stop me from getting some wood chopped this afternoon. So even I've got something on my chest, but even with a chesty cough, I was still out having a good go with the axe. Margaret, rainy south east Northumberland. We're not. I think it's just about stopped raining here. It was raining like mad for the last couple of days. I've got to do a bit of repair work this weekend because on my bay window, I think something's happened with the lead. There's some damage to the lead and some water's creeped in behind it. So some water creeped into our living room ceiling. So this weekend is going to be up there fixing that bay window roof. So what's going on? We just got a wood burner installed. I wasn't keen, to be honest, but it's great. I really, we got a wood burner put in last year, and I think they're absolutely fantastic. I love them. It's the first time, since we've had that, we can actually keep our house warm. With just central heating, it was just turning it on just enough to get just house warm enough, and then quickly switching it off again. With the price of gas and everything, but yeah, I'm scavenging a lot of wood, skip diving for a lot of wood, but it's there's a lot of wood there for scrap wood that would otherwise end up going to landfill and going to power stations to use anyway. So yeah, we're making use of it, and it's doing good for us. We've just got a wood. So is it still cold with the rain? It's no longer freezing, so we're not getting frost. I think nighttime temperatures are about 6 Celsius, 7 Celsius at the moment, and daytime temperatures, I think today hit the high of 13 in Leeds. Do you have burners, chimney cleaned ever? Yeah, I got it swept professionally last year. I think I'm going to just get myself a sweeping kit and sweep it myself. I like to do things for myself a little bit more than as much as I can. Anything that I can do myself, yeah, definitely do it. So the garlic I planted last week is growing too well for my liking. Should be developing underground, not shooting up. Climate change. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, we've had one frost so far, and then it's warmish again. And for this time of year, I think it's little bit warmer than this year. The ground's still got a lot of heat in it, so things will take off, I think, a lot easier. My garlic's already shot up. the ones that I did plant, I never got to actually finish them off. I don't think I'll get them finished off this weekend either. Driving Monkey, what do you think about Labour MPs? Not, I think it's pathetic, absolutely pathetic. Check out my other TikTok. It's called Motin Speaks. You'll have a look at the work that I'm doing on there, and pushing a lot of. I'm trying to separate this TikTok out between some of the political stuff and the activism from the gardening stuff a little bit. So over on that other TikTok, you'll see. Go and check out some of the videos that I've done and see what you think. You'll have all my opinions on that. Yeah, I've done quite a few videos on that. So 89 degrees Fahrenheit here in Florida still. What's 89 degrees in new money? Yeah, absolutely never. Yeah, I left the Labour Party a few years ago because I'd had enough. Got a bite from something and it infected immediately, so on antibiotics, and my morphine patches are reacting. So my skin, after years of being on them, is now looking like a. Oh, that sounds horrible. Oh, Cheryl, that sounds absolutely horrible. No, that sounds absolutely horrible. I really feel for you. Do you know what it was that bit you? Karen, how are you doing? Hope you're keeping well. So something, I'll need coffee. It's quite mild this evening, 10 Celsius. We're about the same. I think it's, yeah, we're about the same. I think it's going to hit overnight. The low is going to be about 8 degrees for us. See, that chest is feeling a little bit rough still. So 31 degrees Celsius. That's awesome. Oh, I'd be loving that kind of weather. So only one day 50 plus was an issue. Hey, only one day 50 plus. I'm not following you there. So Ned, I don't do a lot of politics on here, and I do generally keep it inclusive, but I have trouble keeping my mouth shut sometimes. Yeah, that's just me. No idea, nurse. Don't know either. She said at the end of it, don't matter, but needs greeting. My thumb is twice the size it should. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that sounds painful and really horrible. Yeah, needs treating, not greeting. Okay, that doesn't sound nice at all. That doesn't sound nice at all. Yeah, that really does. See, when you have things like that, and it just sets you back really badly, doesn't it? It can cause a bit of a bummer. It's not great, but hey ho, we have to get on with it. See, last few days Zaki's had a really nasty fever and a cough, and he's come out with a load of rash around his mouth and around his hand, and I've come out with this chesty cough thing, and yeah, my wife's not brilliant at the minute either. Okay, well, it's the first in Egypt. Okay, now I'm with you. Over 50 degrees. Okay, I'm with you. That must be insanely hot. So Northern Ireland, UK, I think you need to be banned. Let's kick you out. There you go. Someone wants to come in and thinks they can ask me. Another guy thinking he can come in and God bless Israel. Yeah, you can get banned as well. Okay, you can get banned. See, you get a lot of absolute racists coming on, and they think they can just troll you with these kind of comments. Sadly, TikTok is still quite crazy. A lot of weirdos are still on there. Uh, um, can I start broad beans in greenhouse? I'm in the West Midlands, thanks. Uh, Absolutely, you can. Yeah, you can absolutely start broad beans in TikTok. In a greenhouse. Um, you can even, do you know, at this temperature, you can start broad beans outside. Um, I planted a load of broad beans in pot noodle pots, and I just left them on top of a concrete driveway thing. And there's, if you saw my garlic video, my last garlic video, they're the broad beans that I planted towards the end of September, and I'm planting out now in October. I'll be planting more broad beans into my greenhouse, and they'll be, I don't know, depending on how mild the winter is, some will go into the ground outside, some will stay in the greenhouse until next spring. Um, just watch out for rats and stuff. My wife, she works on a farm, and what they did was they planted 1,000 broad beans, right, for next year, and they brought all the broad beans into the polytunnel, and where they are, they're on a floodplain. So with the recent rains, the river rose, and the fields flooded. On all the rats from the river, they just went into the polytunnel, and they ate all the broad beans. They've absolutely eaten. You know, they've completely demolished everything in there, um, and yeah, so they just destroyed it. So they're a bit gutted down there because who's it's three women and one guy that run the community farm. So yeah, it's a small team of just mainly volunteers that actually go and do all the work. Sad, so they have to repeat everything that they've done. um, so yeah, Huel is gone. What's Huel? What does Huel mean? What have I missed something? Yeah, broad beans, go for it. Antihistamines might be worth a try as they help with reactions. Check with doc first. Um, I found best to go broad beans in root trainers, or like you did until they are a size that you put out. Yeah, see, that's why I like the pot noodles pots so really good, Joe. Um, that's why I like the pot noodle pots because they're quite deep. You know, they've got that depth on them. You know, like you normally get the plant pots and they're sort of that deep. You know what size? I can't think of the size. But then the standard plant pot for potting plant soap, standard plant pot for potting plant soap, you'll know what I mean. But they're not very deep. But the pot noodle pots are about an inch and a half deeper, and not too wide. So that's why I really like them. Not a fan of broad beans, don't like them. But somebody said you need to double pod them, which I've never tried. So I was never a fan of broad beans. We used to just grow broad beans as cover crops, and I mean, first time I grew them, what, yeah, about 10 years ago, and I didn't like them at all. And then we've got loads of people who are coming into the stream saying, "Oh, we really like them. You know, broad beans are amazing." And I was just growing them as cover crops and chopping them down and just letting them rot in the ground. So one day we took a harvest, and like you say, double pod them. So you take them out of the pod, and then they have that thick skin over them. So we take that skin off, and then my mum cooked them almost like a dal. She made like a dal out of the broad beans, and there that was, yeah, it was something nice, you know. Just really nice dal cooked with broad beans. It was really good. Since then, uh, I've got into them quite a bit. You know, cooked with fish. Um, yeah, really good. So Will, his begonias are still hanging in there. They'll hang in if you've got them. You know, if you can get that, if you've got them in pots and you get them against a wall, you'll get them hanging in for a while, a lot longer. But how are you gonna overwinter them? Are you gonna take the pots out, or are you gonna just stick? Are you gonna stick the pots in a greenhouse, or are you gonna take them out the soil and put them in a bed of sand or wrap them in newspaper or something? What's your plan on overwintering them? Uh, See, my throat's starting to hurt now. I thought I'd be all right. Um, Margaret, if it doesn't settle down, I'll have to go back on pills and not on patches. And they're all, oh man. How could you have to take the morphine patches? Have you got chronic pain? Don't answer if you don't answer on a public platform if I'm being intrusive or anything like that. Um, my chili plants are still hanging on for now, just trying to ripen them. Margaret, I'm the same. Do you know? Do you know how your phone sometimes does that thing where it says this time last year you doing such and such a thing? So about 2 weeks ago, a random picture popped up from last year where I had like two baskets of chilies under my arms, and so I went out and had a look at my greenhouse, and yeah, we're miles off anything near that this year. Um, the chilies haven't been great this year. Um, yeah, I mean we'll still get a couple of bowls full at least, you know, a couple of washing up bowls. But we just won't get the chilies that we'd normally get. Um, and I and I don't think they'll get as ripe as they did last year. You know, last year we were getting really red naga off the plant. Um, my mum picked a green one the other day, and I like naga pickle, but I don't like eating the fresh naga. It's too hot for me. So I just picked one up, you know, with my hand and moved it from one plate to another. And I rubbed my hand on my face later, and I realised, oh, that's got some kick in it. Um, so even though they're not fully ripening, they've still got a lot of kick in them. So they'll go down in nice in the pickle. They might just not give it the bright red colour that we normally get from it. I grow them for cover crops, and this year I forgot to cut them down. And Dad said they would eat them and left them to go. Funny, after the harvest, I wouldn't eat them as he said they were bad. See, can they get bad? Because we let them go all the way, and sometimes, you know, in order to store beans, broad beans or any other kind of beans, if we've got a decent season, you know, so most of the time we freeze the beans themselves. But if we've got a decent season, we'll just dry them in the pods and just store them in the pods and just take the as long as you dry them properly, they'll store quite well. One of the things that you've got to watch out for is when you haven't dried them properly and there's a lot of moisture in there, they turn to mush and get rotten. As long as you dry them properly, you can store them for a good 6 months just as dry beans in the shell. Even with broad beans, you know. Um, I just got a sweet and the other good thing about that is, do you know, when you cook fresh beans like broad beans and something, they start turning, like I mentioned, my mum cooked them for dal, so they go soft really quickly. If they're drier, they don't go soft as quick, so you get a different texture when you cook them. Yeah, a little bit of a different one there. Aki 67, mashallah. um, my pepper plant I brought Aldi's. Your seed failed. What caused them to fail? We had bad aphids this year, really bad, worst aphids I've ever seen. Just got a sweet pepper plant, and it's over a hoop under a hoop cover, and it's since got, but it's still got small ones on it. Another guy to get blocked. Goodbye. Yeah, bye bye. Okay. So yeah, fine task. I appreciate the supporters with my autism. I don't know many people in person, but I have seizures and damage my back by having a. Oh, see, I can sympathise. Well, I can empathise with the back pain. I suffered from a bad back for a long time. I still take a lot of painkillers for back problems. Um, for a long time, I used to hide it on my YouTube videos. You might see the odd photograph on Facebook or on some other social media where I'm using walking sticks. So for a long time, I'd use props in my videos. So I'd use like a stick or I'd use like a rake to try and for support rather than appear like I'm using crutches. But the last sort of year has been probably one of the best years for me in a very long time in terms of my back, in terms of pain as well. I'm even contemplating trying to speak to my doctor and see if I can move down some of my painkillers. Being a lot more active, I've lost quite a bit of weight. Got a lot more active. Um, just trying to make myself a bit physically stronger. I think that's made a big difference, you know. So I'm thinking maybe this year I'll go and speak to my doctor and try and cut down on the painkillers that I take. Ali wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. So nice. Then I have got a bad back in the left leg, so the left side I can't feel properly, and it gives out. I'm with you, you know. See, mine happened when I was 25. Since I was so 25, my it's not my left leg, it's my right leg. So my little, I'm holding it now as though you can see it, but my little toe on my right leg, I've got no feeling in that. Down that side, outside of the calf, got no feeling in that. So I've got to be careful when I'm out in the garden, because in case, you know, if you ever stick a fork through your welly or something like that, or you stand on a nail, if I stand on that side, I won't feel it. But there's a problem there because you can end up getting infected. You can get all sorts of things. Um, with beans, when gone to seed, we freeze them. We mainly do the same. I got a few. I got 2 free trees from the council today. Tree giveaway, hazel trees. Good. Oh, that's brilliant! If the council are giving you trees, that's fantastic. Are they having a special event or something, or what's it in aid of? But that's brilliant. If they're giving you free trees, I like that. I really like that. Do you guys know the Woodland Trust? If anyone's on an allotment or something like that, you can write to the Woodland Trust and they'll send you out a bunch of free trees. or if your community get together and write to the Woodlands Trust, they'll send you out a bunch of free trees. A couple of years ago, they were sending out cherry trees, normal fruiting cherry trees, apple trees, pear trees, all of these kind of things. They were just giving them to everyone. A couple of people that run YouTube channels, they were collecting them and then just giving them away on their YouTube channel, which was quite a good idea, I thought. So check the Woodland Trust regularly as well for free trees. They're in the fridge for 3 days. Life for me isn't great, but I know there's a lot of. The thing is, there's as hard as life is, there's so much positives that you can still get. I'll tell you, like for me, it feels like I've adapted, if that makes sense. So okay, I can't run as fast as I can, but I played my first game of football about 2 weeks ago. Don't know if you saw it on my TikToks or anything like that, but I played my first game of football in about 10 or 15 years. Nowhere near was I any good. I mean, I look like an absolute clown out there, but I was on the field, you know what I mean? And I couldn't have even imagined doing that 2 years ago. I mean, you've seen the YouTube channels. Most of the, like a lot of the early days, a lot of the heavy lifting my brother was doing. What's the cause of your back pain? For me, apparently it's slipped discs and nerve compression. But when you speak to different doctors, right, they all come up with different theories. And now the modern thinking is we don't know. Some people just have an overly sensitive nervous system, and they tell you you're in pain when you're not actually in pain. So it's a weird one. I'm Nadim, walaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. I recently watched a garlic planting video and I've also planted using the same method. Are there any other seeds, bulbs which need planting this month? So we're talking about that at the start of the stream. So broad beans are good for this month. Onions seeds are good for this month. If you've got any lettuce or some quick growing salad seeds. I know Ned's had a lot of success with some of the Asian mustards. So if you're growing them in containers on a windowsill, you can grow them pretty much most of winter. We grow a lot of coriander through winter just on our windowsill. So just keep sowing certain seeds like that. You can keep sowing little and often. Yeah, the problem is in a circle you get weight increase and pain, and it's yeah. CW, how are you doing, man? Long time no see. Hope everything's good with you. How's everything on the allotment, and how's life treating you in general? Maybe worth trying to reduce your meds yourself before you go to the doctor. Like the thing, the some of the painkillers that I take, they're on a slow release, so they're in your system for 12 hours. So what I want to do is probably cut down on probably the dosage. So I'll need a new prescription so I can get the smaller tablet rather than the bigger one. Morris, I'm a bit late coming into the chat tonight. You've been out on I see your pictures, Moz, and I sometimes think, Joe, I just think, what a nutter. He's out in the cold on a paddleboard, and I'm like, that's cold, man. I couldn't do that. You can, so I understand exactly what you mean. I had so many diagnoses years ago, and eventually ended up with a ruptured disc due to an undiagnosed twisted pelvis. It was worse pain. Oh my gosh. They have mine down as bulging disc L45. Yeah, same place. It's so common, especially if you're doing a lot of sitting. If you do desk jobs or office jobs or that kind of thing. It's the L45, L6. Those lumbar discs is so common. So plant shallots now. I grew shallots. I grew banana shallots, and we struggle to use them properly. Because we use onions, and we use a lot of onions in our base. In our style of cooking, we use them a lot in our base. And then we grow red onions for salads or white onions for salads. But the normal yellow onions, we use that as the base for a lot of our cooking. And I grew loads of shallots a few years ago, and we struggle to, fit them in. We use them a bit in salads, or we use a little bit in stir fries. But it was like, for the amount that we got back, we just went back to using, just planting onions. So I don't know. Does anyone else? How do you use your shallots? Go on. Yeah, right down near the bottom.
Why isn't
it? Can you close the door before you come in? Give the door a push. You're not going anywhere. Just give the door a push. I'm not saying go. Just give the door a push. Okay, don't shake the camera. You can do your typing absolutely fine.
Oh yeah, touch screen.
Yeah, please press that like button. Absolutely. I'm gonna have to do onions from seeds and so in January. You see, have you tried taking turmeric tablets to help reduce inflammation of bulging discs? I take turmeric, not in tablet form. So we take a lot of.
But I can't type.
So a lot of you can. It's there. No, just start typing. So a lot of turmeric powder, but warmed with milk and a little bit of honey for taste. So we have that, especially when we've got colds and stuff. But I don't take turmeric tablets. Raw turmeric we take. So we can eat turmeric raw as it is. I planted onion sets last autumn, and the plant bolted just before the summer. Let's see, I gave up planting sets. Some of the Japanese onions are okay if you plant them now, but I gave up planting sets. So what instead I do now is I just plant seeds, because every time I seem to plant sets, they always seem to bolt. Type quietly. So I mainly just go for onion seeds now, and if my seeds for some reason fail, like they did a couple of years ago, what happened was we planted loads of onion seeds, and then we had chicks in the greenhouse, and they went into the greenhouse and they just completely destroyed my onion plants. So then, in emergency like that, I'll plant spring planted onions, but I do find that they bolt. Red onions tend to bolt a lot more. You need to be a little bit.
I'm typing what Vaya said.
Okay.
Good.
I love shallots for salad dressings. How do you use it in a salad dressing?
Noodles.
Cheryl saying hello to you.
Nah.
Yeah.
Who's that?
It's Cheryl. I grow shallots, but they're fiddly to prepare. We do use them because the shallots seem more successful than onions. Baltic homesteaders. How are you doing, big man? I hope you're keeping well. Hope life's treating you well. And things aren't too busy over there. See, I'm having to dodge around this kid so I can see what the text says. So I won't be planting sets again this year. In the food presser with the. Oh, okay, so you put them in and then. Oh, okay, I'm with you. I understand now. See, we always. Yeah. Alpha Ski, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. How are you doing? Thanks very much for coming in. Baltic homesteaders first snow today. So you're going to be on the snow for now until February-ish. There you go. So Cheryl's telling you who she is. Go on. So Cheryl's telling you who she is. Yeah. So does anyone grow brassicas over winter? I'm looking forward to purple carrot and broccoli in spring. Plenty of chard, cabbage, kale. So we've got some purple sprouting broccoli in the ground. We've got some calabrese in the ground. We've got some red cabbages in the ground, and I've got them just under my old gourd arch. Oh, well, yeah, you can have a sticker. Yeah. So I've got it just under my old gourd arch, so that'll hopefully give it the protection from the birds. And there'll be loads of garlic coming up through there, and hopefully that'll keep it away from, give it the protection from insects. Shame we can't share pictures as she's watching. Are you in our Facebook group? Because we've got a Facebook group, so just My Family Garden Facebook group, and we share a lot of pictures and stuff in there. I'm trying to grow broccoli this winter, but nothing much is happening. Lots of leaf, but no broccoli. How old are your plants? Because normally you plant them you plant them in sort of late summer or early autumn. Leave them in your ground, and then next spring, early next summer, that's when you're going to be getting the harvest. So they're a really long growing crop. Really? I just felt really dark. Really? How do you spell real? Go on. Yeah, you can do it. You can do it. You never go. Good bamboo to grow in Fagacia Robusta can put a plant in mine this year, and it's already tripled in height. Bought it on eBay. Is that a running rag? You can do it. I told you, you can. You can do it. There you go. Okay. So is it a clumping variety? Okay, the best clumping bamboo. And have you got good canes off it then? Really? That's not how you spell really.
How do you spell really?
Yeah, just put a Y on the end.
Yeah.
So let me get that variety.
Isn't spell like really?
Okay.
Isn't look like really?
You're missing an L, that's why.
Hey, Papa.
You need to put another L in there. There. Okay.
You dog.
You said that first time, so why did you doubt yourself?
Dog.
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 At the moment, I have some sparkle sprouting broccoli and some cauliflower and some cabbages out of the ground. We had a cauliflower this week.
Really dark.
What's really dark?
Nighttime.
Yeah, so the clocks go forward, clocks go back this week, and that's it. We're officially into the short days now.
Right now.
So most people are going to be getting home from work, and it's going to be dark.
Right now.
It's going to be miserable for a lot of people, and because the only time we're going to be able to get into the garden is on weekends.
It's really dark, right?
How are you feeling anyway? Your temperature gone down. You're not feeling bad. You look like you got plenty of energy.
Oh no. The truth. Who's the truth?
Who's the truth? So picked from mine in the spring, and at the very least, it protected my soil over the winter. Do you lime your soil before you put your brassicas in? Yes, buddy.
How do you spell really?
You what?
Really?
You know how to spell really because you spelt it once.
Yeah.
No, you spelt it once, didn't you? So we grow brassicas with hoops and scaffold.
Oh yeah, I was supposed to write. Right.
Pigeons would strip the lot. Yeah. We pigeons are a nightmare for that. So I've got some white water pipe, but it's not just normal water pipe. It's got like steel reinforcement in it. Nicky gave me a load when I went down a couple of years ago, and I've still been meaning to build some arches out of that. Is that funny? Margaret, I've got purple sprouting broccoli on the go. Did kale last year. Don't bother with cabbage for the same reason. I don't grow onions, too cheap to buy, a waste of precious garden space.
I can't go to here. I can't go to here.
The one issue I have with
I can't find tea.
It's okay.
Oh yeah.
The one issue I have with cabbages is, you know, when you get those little tiny slugs, you end up with them sometimes inside the middle of the cabbage. That's the one problem I get with cabbages. For something so common, you know, brassicas, those kind of plants, they need a lot of fussing over.
Really don't. Really. But I'm going to type in really, really dark right now. And I'm going to type really, really dark right now.
Is there any reason why my dill goes very short? The ones that you buy in supermarket is very tall. See, you know those supermarket herbs that you buy in pots, right? They've been grown in greenhouses under lights with a lot of fertilizer. So they're gonna grow really fast, really quickly. Most plants don't grow at that speed. So they've been, you know, they've got their light really optimized. They've got their feed really optimized, and they're just growing non-stop. Whereas you're growing in less than optimal conditions, and you're trying to, you're never going to have those kind of results. So the only thing, if you want to put on a lot of leafy growth and a lot of quick leafy growth is a little bit of nitrogen feed. So a little bit of chicken manure melted in, chicken manure pellets dissolved. Chicken manure pellets dissolved in water, and then water with that. But yeah, don't try and compete with something that you can't compete with. Just you're trying to grow in less than ideal conditions, and they're growing something that's not real. You know.
Now. Right.
So I'm gonna try to overwinter some purple sprouting broccoli in the greenhouse this year and see if it survives. How cold does it get in your greenhouse? Because outside you're going to be under snow for a long time.
Nope. Nope, why did I do that?
You see, really. Little man, tell you what, you let your dad finish talking to all these people, and tomorrow I'll message you via Facebook.
I don't have Facebook. Really talk.
So right. Cheryl, the clocks go back Saturday night, not tonight. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, Saturday night. They'll be going back. So we lose an hour of daylight. So we're going to be getting home from work. It's going to be dark. The only time we're going to be getting some daylight is on the weekends. So make sure if you're anywhere north of the Watford Gap, you're taking plenty of vitamin D during the winter. Everyone should be taking vitamin D during winter. We're just not getting enough sun. Okay. So we used nematodes last year, and all the brassicas were slug free. Didn't do it this year with all the rain. This year, I think everyone has struggled with slugs this year. We've seen some of the biggest slugs that we've ever had. Zaki, do you want to go? Do you want to go down?
No.
Okay.
How can we go up, Papa?
You can't. So we've had some of the worst slug we've ever had. It's not touch. It's not your laptop. Mine's old. Big. Stop it. Otherwise you will go downstairs. So Big Mac, how are you doing, mate? Thanks very much for coming in.
Who's Big Mac? Is he the Big Mac from Burger King?
The sword.
Is he the Big Mac? Is he the burger Big Mac? I dare.
Yeah, hands are blocking my eyes.
I dare you to pick your nose. Yeah.
Vitamin K2, research it and make your own choices. See, I don't know about vitamin K2. I don't know anything about it.
Baba, I want to tell him something. He spelled yeah wrong.
Yeah, that's because they spelled it like I speak it rather than trying to spell it as in the word. Okay. So I'll have a look at K2 and ask the doctor, see what they say. But can outside can be minus 25, but inside the new passive solar, I'm not sure as it's the first year, so we'll see. Have you got any sort of heating in there?
Not.
So what's the best way to dry bean seed pods?
Not listening.
Mars, do you know if you just leave if you can get a weaved basket or a weaved tray or something like that, so there's lots of air that can get underneath. If not, a cardboard box. If you just leave them close to your log burner, they'll dry quickly on there, you know.
Listening.
I'll have a look at K12. I've not heard of it. Look, there you go. Big Mac says it's got nothing to do with Big Mac burgers. Okay? It's not related to Big Mac burgers, okay?
Okay. Nope. Not. How do you spell listening?
Listening. How do you think? No, you got a T in listening.
Listen. Get. Listening.
Yeah.
Get.
You know, it's right.
Listening.
So,
Listening. Listening. You guys are still going.
We're still going. Yeah. Guys, my voice is going now.
Not listening.
My voice is going now, so I'm gonna.
Not listening.
I got a new action figure from my cousin's house.
I'm gonna call it a night here.
No.
Papa, he won't play
I'll
with
catch it
it.
on next week. Don't worry, it says it's okay. It's okay. It says. So I'm gonna call it a night here, guys. We'll see you same time next week. Assalamu alaikum.
No, Zaki, it's mine.